Hey Nash, what should we make?
Well, we've made Gordon Ramsay's Wellington sauce before, but in preparation for our Wellington cheeseburger, let's see if we can make an even better version.
All right, let's see if we can make Gordon Ramsay's famous Wellington sauce even better. Welcome back to Chaos Kitchen, where sometimes when you reach the peak of the mountain you're trying to climb, you feel great, but then you see a higher mountain just down the way. So sometimes you feel like, you know what? I'm good. I climbed the peak I wanted to climb. I'm gonna go home. But not here. If we see that higher peak, we're gonna go climb that. So anyways, we've made Gordon Ramsay's famous Beef Wellington sauce, and y'all seem to like it because the video's got a lot of views. And it's a delicious, absolutely amazing sauce. I didn't even stop to think, hey, can we make it better? Until one day I stopped to think, hey, can we make it better? Since we're about to make a Beef Wellington cheeseburger in our next video, I decided let's make the sauce again, but let's see if we can make it better. So come on this journey with Nash and I, and let's see if we can do it. Without further ado, let's go. Any changes I'm making to the original recipe, I'll go ahead and put like a little graphic or a little ding so you kind of know. I'll put it all in the recipe that'll be posted below, so you don't need to worry about any of that. So we're gonna start off the same. We wanna go ahead and dice 4 large shallots. And we're gonna end up straining this, so it really doesn't matter as far as like how fine you're dicing or that everything is the same size, unless you're working in some sort of professional kitchen, because if you're just cooking this for yourself, that doesn't really matter. However, if there is someone that you call chef or say yes chef to, and it's not some kinky role play in your bedroom, then you probably wanna make sure and do a nice even dice. And then our mise is en place. So then with a hot pan on medium heat, you want a pretty large pan because we're gonna be reducing large quantities of liquid in this recipe. If you're unfamiliar with the recipe, that's how it goes. So we put in some neutral oil. I think Gordon actually uses olive oil, but I'm using avocado oil just because. So I guess that's one change. Ding ding, or whatever sound I decided to use when I edited this video. And then we throw in some beef trimmings. If you happen to be making an actual Beef Wellington, you could use, that is loud. If you happen to be making an actual Beef Wellington, you could use the trimmings from your trimmed Chateaubriand that you're using for your Beef Wellington. Or if you had the butcher trim it, ask him to save the trimmings for you. You could also go to a butcher and just ask them for beef trimmings. They may just give them to you, they may charge you, I don't know. But this is also a good reason every time you trim beef, no matter what cut it is, just save it, throw it in the freezer, and then just keep adding to that bag. And then you always have a bag of beef trimmings because it's good for stock, it's good for sauces like this, and it's good for all sorts of things. So, fun fact. So then we just want to sort of cook this, surrender some of the fat. We want to get some of the juices out. We're getting all the flavor out of here. And essentially, we're just going to sort of cook this down until all of your little beef trimmings are browned on all sides. And once your beef trimmings are nice and browned on all sides, then we can add our shallots. And then the recipe calls for 12 peppercorns, but we're gonna be rebels and add double that. And this is my addition, but we're gonna add 3 garlic cloves. Whoops, that was bad aim. And normally the stuff that gets stuck in the garlic press I would just throw away, but since we're gonna strain this sauce at some point, we'll just throw that in there. More flavor. We'll get that stirred in and cooking. Then we're supposed to add 1 sprig of thyme. My thyme's kind of small, so I have 3 or 4 there. 1 bay leaf, so I found the biggest frickin' bay leaf I could find. Get that kind of submerged. Come on, you can do it. You can do it.
You can do it!
Do you know that bay leaves come from a tree? I didn't know that. I mean, I guess I could have figured it out. I never really thought of it. Then I was hanging out with my buddy at his new place in San Diego, and he has a bay leaf tree, or a bay tree. I guess it's a bay tree. I don't know. Big old tree, tons of leaves. Infinite source of bay leaves. The weird things that somehow make things taste better, but we're not sure why, and we add them and then we take them out. But if you don't add them, there's a difference. Anyways, I'll stop rambling. And add my addition, some rosemary. Just get everything in there, get everything cooking. Once your shallots are nicely browned, golden brown, not like super brown. And a lot of our liquid is gone here. Then we're just going to toss in some red wine vinegar, just like a splash or a few splashes, I guess. And then let that bubble away. And once that's reduced to almost no moisture at all, then we go ahead and add 750 milliliters or a whole bottle of red wine. I think a dry red wine is the best, but it's unspecified. So let me just kind of get everything kind of stirred in here. We just totally killed our boil, but that's fine. That's what you're gonna do. So then just get everything kind of stirred in, see if there's anything that needs to be scraped off the bottom. Probably not, but if there is, go ahead and scrape it off the bottom because that's what we're looking for, because that's all just flavor. And once that comes up to a boil, give it a stir, and then we just sort of let this cook and let this wine reduce. And when our wine is reduced to virtually no liquid at all, except for some sizzling fat, whoop, and whatever the hell that was, it just jumped out of the pan. I don't know. And then we're gonna move on to our last couple of steps. Here's where we're gonna add some flavor bombs. So stay with me here and don't freak out because some of these are gonna seem kind of weird, but I promise you, they're all flavor bombs in the greatest way possible. So first thing we're gonna do is add a couple of splashes of soy sauce. Make sure you can spill some like right on your stove because that's cool. That's just gonna add a little bit of salty umami-ness. It's not gonna taste like soy sauce, I promise. We wanna round out these flavors. I mean, it's already a great sauce. I'm just trying to add some flavors. So I'm taking a few pages from some Asian cookery, and that sauce should be, well, everything should be balanced between salty, sweet, acid, fat, umami. So we're gonna add a few splashes of balsamic vinegar, just a dash of fish sauce, a very tiny bit of anchovy paste, not a lot. And I promise it's not gonna taste like anchovies. It's just gonna add some of that umami flavor. We want a little bit of sweet, so I'm gonna add a little bit of that balsamic glaze. And then, just because why not, let's do a little pixie dust here. Stir that in. Oh my goodness, that's amazing. And usually to land this plane, we would just add a bunch of beef broth, let it simmer and do its thing, and then we'd have our sauce. But I'm gonna add some demi-glace. And what this is, it's essentially a very, very rich, concentrated beef sauce. You could make your own, but you could also just buy it in packets like I just used, or in larger quantities if you want. This is just gonna add a more concentrated beefiness in addition to the beef broth we're about to add. So we get that all stirred in, and then we add 750 milliliters or about 3 cups of beef broth. Let me get that all stirred in. And once that comes back up to a boil, we lower the heat all the way to low, give it one stir, and then you might wanna stir it occasionally from here on out, but then we just let this simmer for about an hour until we've reached the thickness of your choice. But Gordon's recipe says an hour, so that's what we're gonna do. And once your sauce has reached the thickness that you desire, after around an hour, then we go ahead and kill the heat. And then we pull this off the heat. And then we, using a sieve with some cheesecloth, we go ahead and strain our sauce. And then with our sauce all strained, we throw in a few tablespoons of cold butter, diced. And then we just whisk this in just to give it some extra richness. And then once you're done, as long as it can coat the back of the spoon, you're good to go. And there we have our Gordon Ramsay's Wellington sauce, but better. And then when your beef Wellington is almost ready to serve, then you can go ahead and take your sauce that you made ahead of time and go ahead and just reheat this guy. Just reheat it slowly. We don't need to get it like boiling hot or anything. You just need to get it, assuming it's been in the fridge, we just want to get it nice and warm so we can serve it with our Wellington. Or if you're a crazy person like me and you made a beef Wellington cheeseburger, then we can serve it with that. And then once you're ready, just serve it over your Wellington, even if it's just a Wellington burger. And there we have our upgraded Gordon Ramsay's Wellington sauce 2.0, or whatever we're calling it. And it's time for a bite. Cheers. Kind of already tasted the sauce before we put it on the cheeseburger Wellington, so I already knew it was amazing. Look, the original sauce is absolutely amazing. I am very confident that the changes we made makes it even better. So if you're interested, or if you've already tried it, go try it again, or go try it, make some or all of the changes that I made, and I don't think you'll regret it. Out of 10. And hey, that's what I think, but let's see what Nash thinks. Hey, bud, how you doing?
I'm good, man. I just learned that Scotland's national animal is the unicorn, and I'm not quite sure how I feel about that. I mean, why not the centaur or the minotaur?
Well, check it out. We made an upgraded version of Gordon Ramsay's famous beef Wellington sauce. And of course, we made a dog-friendly version just for you. Well, here you go. What do you think?
Holy idiot sandwich, Batman. That is a nuclear blast level of flavor bomb, and I love it. See, I knew we could make something amazing even better.
Anything you want to say to your fans?
A man who views the world the same at 50 as he did at 20 has wasted 30 years of his life.
Nash approves, I approve. We tried to upgrade an icon, and I think we did it. Thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate you all. Love you all. If you wouldn't mind taking a second, go like, share, subscribe, hype, hit the bell for notifications, all that good stuff. If there's anything you want me to make, you want me and Nash to taste, go ahead and drop that down in the comments. And hey, if you like this video, go check out some of our other cool videos somewhere over here. And just remember, cook more, eat better, embrace the chaos. That's it for now, folks. Until next time, be good and peace.